let me quickly define the agenda for the session today. In about first 10 minutes of the class, we're going to have uh, 10 minutes. We're going to have some general discussion, including some introductions, just so that we get acquainted with each other. Since we would be working together for next 5-6 months, even longer, it is always a good idea to know who's coming from what background. So about 10 minutes, we will just spend in introducing ourselves. Then after that, the main session. So we have a 120-minute session today. So after that, I'm going to start with time value of money concepts. But today's concepts are going to be advanced than what we did in the previous class. So we're going to build on to what we've done, but we're going to look at more advanced time value of money concepts. In particular, what we would be discussing on is different compounding frequencies. And while we're working with different compounding frequencies, we're going to work on three angles here. So how do you incorporate compounding frequency when we have a present value, future value questions? How do you incorporate compounding frequencies when we have a payment question? And then we would also be learning something called as the I conversion function. And this compounding frequency should easily take us about 50 to 60 minutes. And then after that, we're going to start with the something called as the NPV and IRR buttons in the calculator. Okay, so that's the agenda for the class today, and that is going to be the flow of sequence. So with this background, let us get started with a few introductions from the class. Uh, those of you who would like to volunteer can probably just raise your hands within the Zoom panel, and then just give an introduction in terms of what you do, where you work, and the reason why I thought CFA was a good course for you. Just the thought process. I would also appreciate if some working professionals volunteer, so that way we have a good mix of students and working people. Okay, so we're going to start with Sushma Deshmukh here. She's appearing first on my list. Sushma, I've enabled your audio. You should be able to talk now. Yes, so I can see you've unmute yourself, Sushma, but your system is not picking up the audio, it seems. So go to the Zoom panel. In the audio bar, you would see a arrow which will allow you to change the source from which your audio is captured. See if that's working. You keep on trying. In the meanwhile, I'm going to enable audio of, let us say, uh, Jimit Shah here. Jimit, you should be able to speak.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Jimit.
So I'm from Mumbai, and currently I'm a full-time student, and in my final year of.
Okay.
So I decided CFA because in BMS there are three streams: HR, marketing, and finance. So finance has a huge scope for development.
Okay.
And so after
So
completing graduation, I don't think MBA is the right thing, because the average person doing MBA is 25, 26, because a gain of industry. So MBA is little perfect for them.
right. So you're looking at CFA as some sort of an alternative or a substitute to MBA. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, currently looking for an alternative, but I think it's a good opportunity to learn more in finance subjects.
Sure. Got it. All right. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
you coming forward. Okay. Anyone else would like to? Okay, I can see we have Amit here. Amit, hi. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Amit. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Okay. So I'll tell you about myself, and so I am as you know that in 2015 I have opted for CFA, but that time somehow I could not attempt this level one, and I joined. I am from background sales background. Uh, I was from sales background, but I wanted to change my career into IT profession. So that time I started with my CFA, and somehow after doing that, I got placed into IT industry in 2015, and I started working there, and I have done good in that in IT profession. But somehow it feels that if you go in the corporate world, you need to have a CFA degree. Why? Because to understand the functionality, you need to have an understanding of uh, core flow. I mean, how it has been flowing, how the data is being used by the different downstream. And downstream here, I mean, to the different app owner who are working with the data. So after long time, I mean, after 5 year, I really realized that I mean, CFA or FRM, that will make sense if you have a degree in not only in terms of your colleague or your understanding will help, but it will also grow us in the life. I mean, in the next uh, step. I mean, if you want to progress in your career, it required functionality. I mean, good functional understanding. So that is why I started my CFA again, uh, and yeah, that was all.
So you basically saying you want to build a deeper functional expertise in the area that you're working. That's your main. So your main objective is learning at this moment because
Yes,
career move is already made, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. All right. That's good to know, Amit. Thank you very much. Okay, we have time for one last introduction. Let us go with Balaji Iyer here. Balaji, you should be able to speak now.
Hi, Utkarsh. Nice to know you.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Nice to know you as well, Balaji.
Yeah, I work at Citibank as a business analyst in
Okay.
Kharadi, Pune, and
Hmm.
some of my team members are CFA level one, and some of them are
Okay.
level two and three. One guy is three as well. So I'm just
Hmm.
doing it for the sake of completing my knowledge because I've been working in finance industry, technology and finance, if you will, for last 15 years or so. So just to complete like join all the dots, right? Because we have learned it on the job. So the theoretical knowledge is missing. So that's what I'm trying to complete.
Sure. All right. Thank you very much. I'm sure you'll be able to achieve your objectives. Great, guys. So I think that's the time we have for today for the introductions. But as I said, we'll keep on do this for the first few sessions so that we get acquainted with each other. And of course, if things go well for us and if somehow this situation is under control, then maybe in classroom we'll get to meet each other someday. So with this background, if you guys are ready, let us start with TVM questions. What do you say? All right, then let's get started. First question of the day. What you want to do is you want to, let us say you have 100 rupees with you and you're considering where to invest. So what you do is uh, you go for shopping or to different banks and go and ask them in terms of what rates will they offer on their on your investment. So let us say you go to the first bank, which happens to be your favorite bank. Now, give me a few names, the banks that you like. Since we are dealing with rupees here, and Indian banks would work. I mean, banks operating in India. Okay, so you go to HDFC Bank. Where else? Where else would you go? Come on, give me a few names. Let's say you go to Axis. You go to ICICI. Fair enough. And the last one I get to choose. This is my favorite bank. Can you guess? Yeah, yes. Bank of Maharashtra. Bank of Maharashtra. It's the okay. Now I'm saying this on record, but in my experience, it's the lousiest bank that I've ever come across in my life. I've had miserable experience dealing with them in the past. So this is my way of avenging it. So we these are the banks that you go to, and you go and ask them that, sir, I would like to invest my 100 rupees with you. What rate would you offer me? So HDFC says we will offer you. I'm just going to make a random number. Let's say we will offer you 10% per annum. 10% per annum. Then you go to Axis, and Axis says we will offer you 10.5% per annum. And you go to Bank of Maharashtra, and Bank of Maharashtra says we will offer you 10.9 percentage per annum. All of these are per annum, per annum, per annum. And Bank of Maharashtra, you go and ask them, sir, what rate would you, or madam, what rate would you offer me? So the madam doesn't talk to you. She points you towards a old board which is hanging on the wall, and she says, "Tikda baga." Just go and see what the board says, and the board says that you would get, let's say, 11% per annum. Okay, so you carefully evaluate the rates, and you take a picture of that Bank of Maharashtra board. Uh, you take a picture of Bank of Maharashtra board, and you go to HDFC Bank, and you tell them, what is this? Bank of Maharashtra is giving me 11%. Why are you giving me just 10%? So what the HDFC guy says is, he says, sir, I cannot increase the rate, but one thing you should know is that the compounding frequency, the rate at which the money is going to compound with us, the compounding frequency is going to be monthly with us, which means you'll be able to come and collect some money from us every month. So compounding frequency is going to be monthly. The Axis Bank says, again, sir, we cannot increase the rate for you, but what I can tell you is the compounding frequency with us is going to be quarterly. With us is going to be quarterly. ICICI Bank, we cannot change the rate, but compounding frequency with us is going to be semi-annual. See, all of these rates are per annum, but the compounding frequency is different. So it means how many times within a year the money is compounding. And finally, Bank of Maharashtra, you go and ask. In fact, this time you don't dare to ask. You just go and read the board, and you figure that compounding frequency here is a simple annual frequency. Now you're confused, but luckily you have this brilliant Texas calculator with you. It's actually a mobile app with me, but I'm hoping you guys have the calculator. And with the help of calculator now, I want you to do the math and figure out which of these four options you feel is the smartest investment option. Which of these four options you feel would get you the maximum return, assuming the risk profile of each of the banks is same. Have you understood this? So I'll give you 2 minutes to play around with this, see if you can figure this out yourself. And then otherwise, I would do this with you. Okay, get started right away. The investment horizon doesn't matter whether you invest for 1 year, you invest for 10 years. A higher rate is always a higher rate. right? So you'll have to do them and figure out which one is giving you a better rate. And once you've got the answer, keep on posting it in the box so that I know you're getting the right answers. You would have to solve this. You would have to solve this properly and keep on posting the answers in the box, please. In the meanwhile, hello to all the guys who are on YouTube. I can see Pratik, Dimple, Vikram, Sujata, Mark, a lot of us there. Uh, keep on posting your answers in the box. I'll be monitoring them once in a while. So I've started getting answers. Vedant is giving me 111.19 with ICICI. Arvind has got Arvind has got 10.47 with Axis, 10.92 with ICICI, 11.91 with Bank of Maharashtra. Nimisha 11, 10.48, 10.57, 10.71. Prajakta has chosen ICICI Bank. Okay. चलो थोड़ा फुर्ती दिखाओ. Pick up some speed. Try to do it fast. Navin has chosen HDFC. Vikram has chosen HDFC. Don't choose a bank based on your perception of their brand. Do the math, figure out the one that's giving you the highest return. Selena says Bank of Maharashtra, triple one. Okay. Jessilia is ICICI 11.19. All right, let's do it together now. I hope you've been able to solve this. We'll try and do this together now. Okay, now what I'm going to need is a clean background. Just a minute. Okay, here's how your Nimisha says all rates are equal. That seems very unlikely, Nimisha. All right, so we'll start with maybe the semi-annual compounding. Which one was semi-annual? X was semi-annual, right? ICICI. Okay. So we will start with the ICICI calculation first. ICICI calculations first. All right. So ICICI, can you tell me what was the rate given? It was 10.9%. So 10.9, right? Okay. So now please listen to me carefully. This is 10.9 per annum, But importantly, even though it's per annum, the compounding frequency is semi-annual. So unless otherwise quoted, all rates are per now. Therefore, 1 year. But we have different compounding frequency here. So how is that going to work? So think of it this way. If you have 100 rupees with you and you're getting 10.9% per annum semi-annual, what it simply means is, it means you're getting 5.45 percentage every 6 months. So you're getting half of that. How did I get 5.45? It's 10.9 divided by 2. So 10.9% per annum is equal to 5.45% every 6 months because of semi-annual compounding frequency. So if I start with 100 and look at my calculator keys carefully, so I will say 100. Okay, it's not appearing on my screen. Just a minute. Something is wrong. Okay, so you do it on your calculator. Maybe my calculator is not working. So try 100. Now, once you've tried 100, then say on Texas calculator, try this key 100 plus 5.45 percentage equal to. So your calculator is smart enough, it will automatically understand it is 5.45 percentage of 100. And when you do that, can you tell me how much you're getting there? So you would get 105.45, right? Now the next 6 months, and this is where the real trick is. For the next 6 months, you're going to earn money not on 100, but instead you're going to make money on 105.45. So now this number, which is anyways there on your screen, plus 5.45 percentage. So this number, which is anyways there on your screen, plus 5.45 percentage, and that should give you how much? That'll give you 111.19. So the way you want to think of this is, you would say that, see, at the beginning of the year, I started with 100. At the beginning of the year, I started with 100. But at the end of the year, I ended up with 111.19, which means effectively, what I've really earned here per annum. So effective yield income per annum is 11.19 percentage. 11.19 percentage. So this is going to be the point of comparison. That's how we are going to compare the different yields. Is this making sense to you? Guys, can you just give me a yes or no, please? I hope this is making sense. So this is your this is your vantage point. This is how you want to look at these numbers. Now, is this the only way to do it? No, there are 2-3 other ways through which we could have pulled this off. So let's look at some methods. Okay, so there are more methods through which we could have got that 11.19. So let's call this as method number 1, and let's look at the method number 2 now. So in method 2, we're going to get the same answer, but we're going to use the TVM row instead. So we're going to use the TVM row instead. So what you want to do is, and you do this with me, press second and press clear TVM, second and clear TVM. Hopefully all of you remember how to do that. Now press 100 and make it as your present value. So 100 becomes your present value. Then press 5.45 as your IY. That is the true trick here. 5.45 as your IY. Even though the rate given to us 10.9, we don't use that. We use 5.45 as IY because that's like a true rate. That's how much we are earning every season. And since we're investing for 1 year and there are 2 seasons of 6 months in 1 year, 2 is going to be your N. So this is same as doing this calculation, 5.45 2 times, and then just say compute future value and tell me how much you're getting here. Compute future value and tell me how much are you getting here. You'd again get the same number, which should be 111.19. 111.19. Is that okay? So that's the method number 2. And you should be able to solve the same question with all possible different ways. So either way, you should be able to handle it. Now let's look at the next one, the next method. Next method, we can solve the same question. We can solve the same question by using a beautiful function in your calculator called I conversion function. I conversion function. So how you're going to handle this? First, you're going to press second. And then you're going to press 2. Second and 2. Press second, press 2. Done. Then can you see what do you see above 2 on the calculator? Second 2, what you see is you see the I conversion function. So once you have got inside, then make sure you press second and clear work so that you delete if there was anything saved previously. Second and clear work. Second and clear work. Assuming that's done as well. Now what you do is on your screen, you would see nominal is equal to, right? Now what is a nominal rate? So for all practical purpose, nominal rate is always the rate that's given to you. So in this question, the given rate to you is 10.9. So what you want to do is press 10.9 and hit enter button. So 10.9, and then hit the enter button. Enter button is in the first row. So what you should be able to see is nominal is equal to 10.9. I hope we are all together with this. So what bank gave us 10.9. Now press downward arrow once. If you press downward arrow once, what you would see is you would see something called as EFF. That EFF is nothing but effective. But wait for it. We're still not done yet. Press downward arrow one more time. Once you press downward arrow, you would see C by Y. That C by Y is nothing but compounding frequency per year. How many times are we going to compound this 10.9? So now press 2 and press enter. Press 2, press enter. I hope we are all doing this together. Press 2, press enter. Then press upward arrow. Come back to effective and press compute. Press compute now and tell me what are you getting? What are you getting? You'd get the same number, 11.19, right? So your calculator is smart enough. Your calculator understood how this was to be. Your calculator understood how this was to be handled. and calculator told you that on an effective basis, your yield is 11.19%. So you can do it using any of the three methods. At minimum, you have to know this method and this method. Because this is going to take a lot of time, right? So this doesn't make sense, especially if you have a monthly compounding. So either you do it with TVM row or you do it with I conversion function. And that's what I want you to do now. What I want you to do is just a minute. Solve all of these questions using both the methods, the TVM method as well as I conversion method. The TVM method as well as the I conversion method. And then once we solve them using both the methods, then we figure out which one is the best one out of these. Okay, so what I'm going to do here while you're solving it, I'll keep on writing the keys. So here present value would be 100. IY would be 10 divided by 12. N would be 12. And we will need future value. So you give me the future value, please. Here present value is 100. IY would be 10.5. IY would be 10.5. N would be 4. You give me the future value. This one we've already done. Present value 100. IY would be 10.9. N would be 2. You give me the future value. And here we don't have to do anything, but just for the fun of it, present value 100. IY would be 11. N would be just 1. And you give me the future value. Come on, give me the numbers super fast. HDFC future value is 110.47. Axis future value is come on guys, keep on posting the values on the box, please. Vikram, Madhuresh, Navin, Roshni, Shetty. This is 110.92. ICICI we did. What was the number for ICICI? 111.19. 111.19. And Bank of Maharashtra obviously is going to be 111. Now you look at all of these amounts and which one is highest? ICICI. So it looks like that's the bank we're going for. Now, if you want to use I conversion, then the nominal rate is simply what's given to you. So nominal here is going to be 10. Nominal here is going to be 10.5. Nominal here is going to be 10.9. Nominal here is going to be 11. C by Y is simply going to be the frequency. So this is going to be 12, 4, 2, 1. And then you go and compute what would be the effective rate. And you get the same answer, 10.47, 10.92, 11.19, and 11. And again, we go and choose the ICICI Bank. Easy? Do you think you can handle it? So do you want to practice on this? Okay, and do you want it to be easy or difficult? Okay. So let's do a little bit on I conversion now. I'm doing a concept and a question together so you understand. See, in finance, this compounding frequency has a lot of importance. Okay. And this next 10 seconds are important. So listen to me extremely carefully. A 10% return per annum is not equal to 10% return per annum if if their compounding frequency is different, which means 10% annual and a 10% semi-annual are completely different rates. They're going to produce different amounts in the future. So as much as the rate is important in finance, it is also the compounding frequency that is very important. We have to be careful of what is the compounding frequency that we're dealing with. But the good news is, once I give you one rate, you can convert it to whatever frequency you want. So in this example, here's your exercise. Let's say the compounding frequency options that we have annual compounding frequency, uh, daily, then monthly, then quarterly, and let us say semi-annual. Okay, so let's assume that we're dealing with these 4 different compounding frequencies. Let us say annual compounding frequency is 12 percentage. Annual compounding frequency is 12 percentage. What I want you to do is, I want you to find out an equivalent. This is 12 percentage. So I want you to find out an equivalent compounding frequency, equivalent rate for quarterly, equivalent rate for semi-annual, equivalent rate for daily, and equivalent rate for monthly. Convert that 12% to other frequencies. Now, how would you convert? So that you would have to figure out yourself. Either use time value of money or use the high conversion function to whatever you like, but convert 12% per annum annual to other compounding frequencies. You have 2 to 3 minutes to do this. Cannot be less than 12, not necessary, Siddharth. Uh, as the for the same rate, as the frequency compounding frequency increases, the rates actually would come down, because what you want is essentially uh, to ensure that 100 is becoming 112 by the end of the year. So you're not understanding. I want equivalent rates. I want an equivalent rate. I'm not saying it's 12% for all the frequencies. You're getting this question wrong. I want you to give me an equivalent rate. No. A lot of you are making mistake here. What you're assuming is, some of you are assuming that it is 12% quarterly, 12% semi-annual. No, sir. 12% annual converted to quarterly, semi-annual, daily, and monthly. So convert the rates. Okay, so let me do it for you. Uh, let's do it in an easy way. At the back of your mind, what I want you to have is this. Okay, stop doing what you're doing. I think most of you are getting this wrong. So just stop doing what you're doing and listen to me very carefully. If I have 100 rupees with me today, and if I invest using any of these rates, what needs to happen is, at the end of the year, my money needs to become 1, 1, 2. That's it. That is the logic we want to follow. If I have 100 rupees with me, at the end of the year, my money is going to become 112 because the effective annual rate here is 12%. So now, once we know this, we can solve this using the TVM row or using the I convergence function. Let's do with the TVM row. Okay. So do this with me. Second, clear TVM. Second, clear TVM. 100 negative is your present value. 100 negative is your present value. Why negative? So that we avoid the error 5. 112 is the future value. This is fixed. 100, 112. This is not going to change. This is going to remain constant. Now, this happened in how many years? So what you do is keep 1 as n. Just for the, this happened in how many periods? So if you're assuming annual, keep 1 as n and compute IY. Keep 1 as n and compute IY. And tell me what do you get? If you keep 1 as n and compute IY, what did you get? Come on, post it on the box, please, everyone. Keep 1 as n, compute IY. What number are you getting? Correct. Correct. What you're getting here is 12, which is this rate. That if the compounding happens only once a year, we are earning 12% per annum, right? But what if we tell our calculator that no, sir, compounding happened twice a year. So now don't do second clear TVM. Just say 2 as n. It will automatically override that number. Don't change anything else. 2 as n. 2 as n, compute IY. What will you get? What are you getting? What do you see on the calculator? Post it on the box. If you keep 2 as n, 2n, compute IY, you should get 5.83. So what your calculator now tell you is, let's say you're earning 5.83 every 6 months. So multiply this number with 2, because we want to quote an annual rate. Semi-annual frequency rate is annual, per annum rate. So multiply this with 2, and what are you getting? You're getting 11.66. That is your equivalent semi-annual rate. Now the same logic, keep your NS4, keep your NS4 now, keep your NS4 and compute IY. Keep your NS4 and compute IY. So now your calculator is telling that, see, if you say that your NS4, then every period you earned 2.87. That means every quarter we earn 2.87. Multiply this with 4. Multiply this with 4. So that's 11.49% per annum. It's a per annum rate, but compounded quarterly. All of these are per annum rates. Rates are always per annum unless otherwise mentioned, but compounded quarterly. Comfortable? Are you following what's happening? कुछ जा रहा है क्या अंदर? Okay. So now I hope I hope you're absorbing. Now keep NS12. Keep NS12. Compute IY. Keep 12. Compute IY. What do you get? 0.94. Multiply this with 12. Multiply this with 12. Tell me what you get. 11.39 or 38, depending on how do you round it off. That's okay. And this is also per annum, by the way. And now keep NS365. Over, don't do second clear TVM all the time. You can reverse the previous number. So just say NS365, compute IY. So you'd get 0.031 and multiply this with 365. And you'd get 11.33. Good. So this is one way of doing it. But is this the only way? No. There are multiple other ways through which you can get the same answer. Now, this time we did this with TVM function. Now let us do this with I conversion function. Do you want to do it with I conversion? It's easy, no? No, no hard work. Just makes your life easy. So let's do the I conversion function now. So press second and two. Press second and two. Press second and two. Then press second and clear work. It's important you do that to delete if there was anything saved previously. Second and clear work. Second and two, second and clear work. Okay, Dashrath, are you listening to me right now? It seems something has gone wrong on YouTube. It's not broadcasting the session anymore. At least it's not showing on my app. Maybe it's an error at my end. So once you have pressed second and clear work, what you see on your screen, you would see nominal. So press 12 there. Press nominal is 12. Now, when you press nominal is 12, press downward arrow 2 times. Do this with me, don't worry. Press nominal is 12, press downward arrow 2 times. It will show you C by Y. Now, tell me what is your C by Y for this 12% rate? What is the C by Y for 12% rate? 1. So press 1. Press 1. Correct? Because 12% is annual. 12% is annual. So it has to have C by Y of 1. So press 1. Then go to effective. Then go to effective and press compute. Then go to effective, press compute. Put it in the box. Tell me what answer you're getting. Go to effective, press compute, Ragini. Go to effective, press compute. Yes, you'd get the same 12, right? So what does it mean? It means a 12% rate is nominal and effective both if compounding frequency is 1. If the compounding frequency is 1, 12% is nominal, but 12% is also effective. Now what we want to do is, once we get this effective, then we hang on to it. So now rest of the step is very simple. This effective, we are not going to change. This effective, we are going to just hold on to it, because what we want is, we want our 100 rupees to become 112 at the end of the year. So now after this, we will change C by Y, we will compute nominal. Change C by Y, compute nominal. Effective remains glued to that number of 12. That is the trick. So now go to C by Y and make C by Y as 2. Make that C by Y as 2 and go and compute nominal, not effective anymore. In the previous question, we went from nominal to effective. Here we're going from effective to nominal. So press C by Y, make it 2, make C by Y as 2 and compute nominal, not effective. Sagar, you're making the same mistake again. Compute nominal. Come on, post it on the box. What answer are you getting? Correct, 11.66. Now go to C by Y, make it 4, go to nominal, press compute. The 12 effective remains as it is. We don't even touch it. Go to C by Y, make it 4, go to nominal, press compute. Correct. Then go to C by Y, make it 12. Go to C by Y, make it 12. C by Y, make it 12. Go to nominal, press compute. And please don't memorize the steps. Try to get a sense on why I'm doing this, right? I mean, on the exam, On the exam, you might end up getting some random questions. So if you memorize a step, it's not going to work. So understand why we did this. Why we did this is this time 12% was effective rate and we had to convert back to nominal. In the previous question, we had the nominal rate. We were converting them to effective. It's an exactly opposite question. The rates that banks give you, the rate that you see is the nominal rate. We convert that to effective. In this question, annual rate was already given to us, the annual compounding frequency. This was an effective. We had to convert an equivalent nominal rate. So last step, convert C by Y to 365 and compute norm. Good. So this is how you do it with I conversion function. Now the same question, I want you to learn solving different methods. If I give you a question, you should be able to solve with TVM row, you should be able to solve with I conversion. How to recognize if a rate is nominal or effective? Anirudh, rule of thumb, all rates are nominal rates. All rates are nominal rates, but that nominal rate, which has a compounding frequency of 1, is also the effective rate. So simple, yeah. How at what rate, at the end of the year, how much money do I get? My 100 becomes 112. So that means 12% has to be my effective rate also. Remember how I started this question. I started this question by asking you to make 12 as nominal, but keep compounding frequency of 1 and then compute effective. Correct? So whichever rate has a compounding frequency of 1 is the effective rate. So we got 12 nominal, 12 effective. So therefore, all rates are nominal rates. So if I have to simplify this even further for you, so observe for this rate, this annual one, nominal for this one was 12, effective for this one is 12 for this one. For quarterly, nominal is 11.49, but effective of this is 12, because at the end of the day, since I'm compounding 11.49 4 times a year, my 100 is becoming 112. Same logic here. Here my nominal is 11.66, but what is my effective? My effective is again 12. What is my nominal here? My nominal is 11.33, but what is my effective? My effective is 12. All of these have a common thing. Effective rates is 12. What is my nominal here? My nominal is 11.38. What is effective? Effective is 12. Effective rate is same for all of them because annual frequency 11 was 12. So we just converted this rate to other frequencies. Are you getting it? Vandana, Anirudh. Do you want to practice one more? See, I'm intentionally not giving you the same type of question again because I don't want you to memorize the steps. That would be outrightly stupid if we end up memorizing. We want to build some sort of a thought process on this. We want to build some sort of an intuitive process on this, right? That's why I'm going to change the variety of questions. I'm not going to repeat the same question again and again. So let me give you a different type of question here. So again, I'm going to give you a conversion question. Again, I'm going to give you a conversion question. All of these are per annum rates. So all of these, the rates are per annum. They're for 1 year. They're for 1 year. But they will have different compounding frequency. So compounding frequency here is going to be monthly, quarterly. Okay. Compounding frequency here is going to be daily, monthly, monthly, quarterly, and semi-annual. These are the compounding frequencies. But what I'll do this time is, instead of starting here in the center, because here compounding frequency is annual, and the moment I said compounding frequency is annual, you know that this is the effective annual rate, right? So instead of starting here, we will start here. So we will say the semi-annual rate is, let me get a nice number for you. Wait a minute. So semi-annual rate is 19.089. Semi-annual rate is 19.089. Convert them to equivalent annual, quarterly, monthly, and daily. Again, it's a slightly different variety of question. You'll have to improvise a little bit here. Yes, Aarti, that's correct. Annual rate is the effective annual rate. So the rate which compounds once a year, annual compounding frequency, that is the effective annual rate. So what I've given you now is a semi-annual rate. I want you to convert them to all other compounding frequencies. Let's see if you can improvise and do this. Those of you who can solve this, you are the type of person who can pass through this CFA, FRM exams easily, because you're putting in some logic into the calculations. You're not memorizing the steps, you're putting in the logic. And those, if you're not able to solve it, you should be able to solve it once we discuss this. So you have 2-3 minutes to get this done. Let me know once you're done with this. Good. So let's start. Uh, doing this together. Here was your trick. Your trick was that first you had to reach from here to here. So once you reach from here to here, you get your annual rate. And once you get this annual rate, then you don't change it. This remains as it is in your calculator. This rate doesn't change. And with the help of this rate, we solve everything else. So in a question like this, what if you wanted to make use of the I conversion function? This is how you were going to achieve those conversions. So let's see if we can do this together. I want all of you to do this with me, even if you got the answer right. Even if your answer is correct, do this with me. It's a good practice for us. So press second and clear work. Second and clear work. And remember what I told you? I told you that all rates are nominal rate. Effective rate is also a nominal rate, but effective rate is a nominal rate which has a compounding frequency of 1. All rates are nominal rates. Effective rate is also a nominal rate with a frequency of 1. So in this case now, what we have is we have 19.089 as the given rate, but it is a semi-annual rate. So enter this as your nominal rate. 19.089 becomes your nominal rate. 19.089 is your nominal rate. Press enter, don't forget that. Then keep the compounding frequency as 2. Keep the compounding frequency as 2. Compounding frequency is 2. And go and calculate what is the effective rate. Go and calculate what is the effective rate. So the effective rate would be 19.99 or something like that. So I'm going to round it off to 20. So I'm going to round it off to 20. So I'm going to say that effective rate becomes 20%. Okay. Now, once we have this 20, or in fact, let's go a little precise on your calculator. If you're getting 19.99, so we'll just keep 19.99. So once you have this 19.99 in your effective, we have to cling on to it. Like we have to have that 19.99 in the calculator as it is. This is not going to change. Now what will change is just the C by Y, and we will keep on calculating nominal rates. Got it? So now this 19.99 never changes. This remains as it is. Now go and make C by Y as 4. Go and make C by Y as 4 and compute nominal, not effective. Effective is going to remain there as it is. Go and compute, make C by Y as 4, compute nominal. Tell me what is quarterly now. 18.65. Okay, so let's pick up some speed. Make it 12, compute nominal. Make C by Y 12, compute nominal. 18.37. And make it 365, compute nominal. Make it 365, compute nominal. 18.23 or 24. So these are your answers. How many of you got this right? Can you say me on the box, please? If you got this right before me, can you please say me on the box? Just say me on the box so I'll understand where we are and how we're doing here. Okay. Got it. Good. Are you comfortable with the level of difficulty and the speed? Okay, good. So I think this is 9:15. Uh, what we'll do now is stop for a nice break. I think an ideal learning session should be about 45 to 50 minutes, because that's when we are absorbing the content at a good speed. So we'll have a nice break. We'll keep it for about 10 minutes. So this is 9:15 or 9:14 in my watch. We will resume the session at uh, we will resume the session at 9:25. And here's what I'm going to do. After the break, we're going to discuss some substantially higher level difficulty questions. I'm going to probably cover one, if time permits, two questions, but substantially higher intensity, which will incorporate time value of money concepts, including the compounding frequencies. And hopefully that will be a lot of fun and a good learning exercise for us. So take a small break, maybe go and pick up your coffee and come back in 10 minutes time. Okay. Number one. This is this is the last session of your level 0 class. So last 4 weeks or 5 weeks, what we did is it was more like a warm-up session. I generally like to start things slow and slowly build a momentum. And I think now we have a decent momentum. So starting from next week, I would like to kickstart with the main level 1 sessions right away. Your calendar is almost ready, so you can expect to receive a schedule by Monday evening. So Monday evening, you would get a block-wise schedule in terms of what is going to happen in which month. So the first thing is that next class onwards, what we would be starting with is we would be starting with a subject called FRA. FRA is Financial Reporting and Analysis. I had asked you to prepare corporate finance. I'd asked you to prepare corporate finance sometime back. So this corporate finance, you keep on preparing simultaneously because it generally, especially the first 2 or 3 topics, they go very well with time value of money. But I would be starting with financial reporting and analysis. And from next week onwards, your timing is going to be a full session, which is going to be 8 to 1 p.m. So we are switching to our regular regime now, where we would be doing a proper 5 hour or at least a 4.5 hour class. Okay, so that's one. Now, what background preparation I need you to do for this is your background preparation is going to be the entire level 0 content, the entire level 0 course on the FinTree LMS. In particular, all the accounting and ratio videos that you see here. Now, all the engineers in the class, can you please, engineers who are participating, can you just put a me on the box, please? So anyone who's non-commerce background, okay, so it seems we have about 10 to 15% of the participants from non-commerce background. And in general, I do not expect anyone to come from finance background or commerce background. Uh, it is perfectly okay if you don't have a background. But what I want you to do is uh, I want you to watch all the accounting related videos which are there inside level 0. Okay, that's the only requirement I have from you. You're going to watch all the accounting related videos so that next class when I start with financial reporting and analysis, you feel comfortable with it. Now, third thing is in terms of what stationery I need you to have. So I would recommend, if you get some time during the week, order some post-its on Amazon or whichever. And if you have stationery shops open in your city, go and buy some post-its. Now you know what post-its are, right? Those stick notes that you get, and yeah, just find out post-its. I want you to buy sticky notes, right? I want you to buy post-its from a specific company called 3M. Okay, we are going to buy only 3M post-its. Why? Because I I own shares of 3M. No, why? Because the the quality of adhesive, the quality of adhesive with 3M is phenomenal, and the way we use these post-its is we would be pasting them at one place and then removing them and then pasting them and removing them, and the uh, adhesive that we use, that adhesive is going to be uh, of the quality which will allow us to do that multiple times. So during the class, so how do we use these post-its is uh, that throughout the class, I would be throwing certain important concepts at you. And initially for the first 1.5 month, I will remind you that, this thing I want you to note down on a post-it. Now, what you do is you simply put that post-it, at a place where you spend a lot of time, either in your office or in your home. For example, if you happen to spend some time cooking every day, maybe you can post it on, somewhere in your kitchen so that you keep on watching it. And the idea is that, we have a very, like as humans, we have very strong pictorial memory. Pictorial means just imagine if you go from one particular road every day, and if there's a hoarding that's there an advertisement, somehow you end up remembering it, right, without even making conscious effort. You just remember that, okay, this was the thing. So a lot of lot of our learning we're going to outsource to this right part of the brain, where we'll just paste these post-its strategically, and we'll keep on revising through them. So I want you to go and buy some post-its for yourself. If you've not purchased calculator, if you've not purchased calculator, then I need to get you the calculator as well. Now, those of you who are eligible, those of you who are eligible to receive the juice notes. So this week, someone from my office will reach you, and we try to distribute the juice notes to you people. So the FinTree office is resumed, but we are not taking walk-ins right now for the simple reason that we just since we have limited staff, we're just planning it properly. So in case if you would like to come to FinTree office to collect your juice notes, you basically have to schedule that with us. Otherwise, we'll figure out some way to distribute these juice notes to you. So most probably Pune will be able to do it this week. Maybe other geographies will do it in a couple of weeks from now. The level one juice notes that you guys would be getting, they would be a printed copy of the notes. So you'd get a print version, and I mean, print or soft copy, it's kind of the same thing, but it's easier if you're dealing with the a printed version, because they come in some beautiful booklets, and they're just fun to study with. So this week you get to work with this week you get the juice notes as well. And the session, most probably we will not be broadcasting on YouTube. So after this, the sessions will be happening only on the Zoom network. So I see a lot of participants in the class. You have been attending classes on YouTube, and that was perfect all this while. But going forward, I would prefer if you're inside the Zoom panel, because even if we decide to broadcast the session on YouTube, it is definitely not going to be the entire session. So you might end up missing uh, some things. So come on the Zoom app, talk to admin, get your accounts enabled, and make sure that your Zoom app is updated to the latest version. Your Zoom app should be updated to latest version. Okay, so these are the four things that you have to keep in mind. Now, do you have any questions here? Guys, you want to ask any questions? We just have a minute for this, then I need to get started with the next question on TVM. Uh, those of you who missed it, I'm repeating one more time. Next week onwards, we are starting with the 5-hour class regime. And the subject we're going to start with is FRA, Financial Reporting and Analysis. It is going to be from 8 to 1 p.m., our original schedule. And the background preparation that I expect you to do is finish all the level 0 videos which are there on the FinTree Learning Management System. Uh, those of you who are participating right now, but who are online candidates, uh, if you are in any of these geographies, which is Pune, Mumbai, uh, Bangalore, or Hyderabad, then you have an option of converting yourself to classroom. But you have to talk to the admin team regarding it. If you're an online candidate, then I'm afraid we will not be able to share the access to Zoom panel, because once the classroom resumes, then the Zoom ends, and the sessions gets broadcasted only in the live classroom locations of FinTree. However, a lot of these videos we would be recording, especially the ones where we feel that the videos need to be updated, and those videos would be uploaded within the learning management system. So you should be able to access them. Okay, then Mohit is saying I'm struggling with the accounting videos. Mohit, then I'm afraid things are going to be difficult because I would be expecting level 0 type of knowledge. So if you're struggling with that, then what I'll recommend is uh, go and access the NCERT books. I'll write down the name for you. NCERT books. You get these books free of cost on NCERT website, and download an plus one or 11th standard accounting book and start with there. Uh, Generally, in level zero, I've tried to simplify at a very granular level, and like 99% of the time, I've heard people find basic accounting videos comfortable. But if you feel that you still need a little more, that's what you'd have to refer to. But make sure you work on the level zero concepts before we start the next Sunday class. Otherwise, things are going to be a little challenging for us. Okay. And those of you who are still not the part of broadcast list, don't worry. If you send me the contact, rest of the job I have to finish, so I will get that done. So you don't have to worry about that. How to join the broadcast list? Get in touch with the FinTree admin team. Those guys will help you. In case if there's anyone who's not sent me the contact in the requisite format yet, get in touch with the admin team. They'll tell you how to do it. Yes, the WhatsApp broadcast list. That's correct, Abhishek. Okay, so with this, let us start with the challenge question of the day. Are you ready for it? Okay. Abhishek, just send it to me one more time. Maybe I've missed it. If you send it to me one more time, I'll try to fix it. Let us say, uh, an individual wants a retirement corpus. An individual wants retirement corpus of $20 million at the end of 20 years. Right now, he has he has access to $1 million. Now, from 0 to 5 years, he's not going to work. He's not working, so he will not be able to invest anything except the $1 million that he already has. That amount he can invest. So he will not be able to invest anything from 0 to 5 years apart from the $1 million. But in this year 5 to year 20, he will start working, and in this window, he will like to start investing every month. He will like to invest every month. Now, when he's investing in every month, he will start his first payment. His first payment would be beginning of the month. His first payment is beginning of the month, which means the first payment comes here, and then every month it keeps on happening this way. Every month he keeps on making payment. The interest rate is 6% per annum, 6% per annum, compounded quarterly. 6% per annum compounded quarterly. My question to you is, what is the amount he should invest every month? What amount he should invest every month so that his retirement corpus of $20 million is achieved? Understood what I'm saying? Okay. Do you think you can handle it? Sure. I'm repeating the question one more time. Listen to me carefully, and then I'm going to give you 10 minutes to solve this. See, this individual, right now, the amount of money he has, he has $1 million with him. Okay, this is the amount of money he possesses today. This he's going to invest right away. But in the first 5 years, since he's not working, he will not be able to make any monthly investment. But what he will be able to invest is this 1 million. Now, starting from the 5th year, starting from here, he will start investing on a monthly basis because he started working now. And the first investment will happen at the end of year 5. First investment will happen at the end of year 5. And it will go on till when? It will go on till 20 years. So how many investments will he make? So these are 15 years. These are 15 years. 15 years. And he's making a monthly investment. So into 12. So he would be making a total 180 payments. A total of 180 payments, right? But the first payment happens here. So clearly the last payment will happen 1 month before the end of 20th year. The discount rate or the interest rate is 6% per annum, but it is compounded quarterly, whereas the payments are made monthly. The question that we want to ask ourselves is, what is the amount of monthly investment that needs to be made? How much does he need to invest every month? That's it. If you can solve this, uh, you're going to feel really good about yourself. You're going to sleep with a happy face today. See if you can handle this question. Take your time, think through it. I've put in a lot of traps in the question for you to fall in. There are a lot of things that you need to be really careful of before you start doing all the steps. I will give you about 10 minutes to do this. Uh, and after that, we will try to do it together. Okay, get started. Are we reaching anywhere? Do you want me to solve? Do you need time? Okay, Mark, you just have to change the setting of your calculator and you should be able to pull it off. Okay, let's do it together. What do you say? All right. So just stop doing what you're doing. And even if you got the answer, even if you reached half stage, that's okay. Now we'll see if we can do this together. So what the question really requires us to do here is it requires us to get the payment. Now, in order to get the payment, it's important that we have a present value and future value. Since since the payment starts in year 5, whereas the amount that's available, $1 million, is at time 0, the first thing we'll have to do is move this 1 million from here to here, right? So invest this 1 million, for 5 years. Now at what rate? So at the rate of 6% per annum, 6% per annum compounded quarterly. Now here we just have to convert present value to future value. So is it okay to use quarterly rate? Yes. I mean, it's perfectly okay to use quarterly rate. Present value, future value, no problem. So right now it's okay to do it, or we can convert this rate to an equivalent annual rate and we can solve it that way also. It's not going to make a difference. So let's do it together, but let's do it quarterly this time. So on your screen, what you do is you do this with me. Second clear TVM. Second clear TVM. 1 is your present value. 1 million is your present value. Then in 5 years, guys, in 5 years, how many quarters we will have? In 5 years, how many quarters? Come on. 5 years, how many quarters? 20, right? So 20 is going to be N. 20 is going to be N. And 6% per annum. So how much do you think per quarter? How much do you think per quarter? 1.5. So 1.5 is going to be IY. 1.5 is going to be IY. Compute future value. So compute future value. And what I'm getting here is 1.3468. 1.3468. Have you got the same number? Do you want me to repeat the process again? Let me repeat one more time. I'm repeating one more time, but I want all of you to do this with me. If you miss this time, I'm not going to repeat. So be super alert, do this with me. And if you got the answer right, even better, just practice. Okay, so together, all of us, everyone. Second clear TVM. Second clear TVM. 1 is present value. 1 is present value. 20 as N, because in 5 years we get 20 quarters. And 1.5 is IY, because 6 is per annum, per quarter it is 1.5. So 1.5 is IY, compute future value. And when you get future value, what you should get is 1.34685. So if you've got 1.34685, just put me in the box, please. Just put me in the box so that I know we are together. Everyone, including the ones on YouTube, just put me on the box, please, so that we understand we together. Okay. Good news. Now what we need here is, now store this number in your first memory slot. So that number hopefully is still on your screen. Store it to the first memory slot, STO1. It's important that you store it to the first memory slot. Now what you need at the end of 20th year is $20 million, right? So now what we're going to do is, we're going to set this amount. We're going to set this amount as present value. Set this amount as future value. And between 5 to 20, how many payments are we going to have? So we're going to have N. We're going to have N of 180, and we're going to compute the payment. There's just one trick here. What is the trick? The IY that we enter here, that IY has to be a per month IY, correct? Rate has to be per month. Now, how can we get a per month IY? Because the problem is the rate that they've given us is they have given us a quarterly rate. So if you're thinking that I will take a quarterly rate and divide it by 12, that would be a gross mistake. We cannot do that. A quarterly rate you can divide only with 4. You can never divide 6% quarterly compounded rate by 12. That would be a blunder if you do that. So what we will have to do is this quarterly rate, first we will have to convert that to a equivalent monthly rate. And once we have a monthly rate, then we will divide it by 12 so that we will get an appropriate rate to work with. So let me plot that thing here. 6% per annum is given to us as quarterly rate. What we want to do is we want to convert an equivalent per annum rate, but with a compounding frequency of monthly. But in order to be able to achieve that, first we will convert that to some rate which is compounded annual, right? So once we compound annual, what we get is we get the effective rate. And once we have an effective rate, using that effective rate, we calculate the monthly rate. So please press second and 2 in your calculator. Please press second and 2 and then do second and clear work. Clear work is first column, last button. Second 2, second clear work. Then in the nominal, enter 6. Nominal, enter 6. Then compounding frequency, make it 4. Compounding frequency, make it 4. Then go to effective and compute effective. So effective you should get as 6.13, and with a few decimals after that, but I'm just writing the first two decimals, 6.13. Okay, now can we divide this with 12? No, even this cannot be divided by 12 because this is an annual rate. An annual rate you can already divide by 1. A quarterly rate you can always divide by 4. What we need is now a monthly rate. So this we will not change now. This will remain in the calculator as it is. Now you go to C by Y again. And right now your C by Y is 4, make it 12. Right now your C by Y is 4, make it 12. Then go to nominal and then press compute. Then go to nominal and press compute. And what you would get is 5.97 or something and few decimals after that. Are we all together? So what we did is we couldn't have done directly a quarterly to monthly conversion. To do that, we would have been required to use a formula. So we avoided that. So from quarterly, we went to annual, annual, we went to monthly. Now this number you put in your second memory slot. So we don't lose on any decimal here. Put this in the second memory slot, STO2, so that we don't lose any decimals there. Okay? I hope you are comfortable with me. So now let's come back to this question. Let's come back to this question. Switch your calculators to the beginning mode. Why beginning mode? Because the payments were made at the beginning of the month. So switch your calculator to the beginning mode. How to do that? Second beginning, second set, second quit. Second beginning, second set, second quit. There should be a small BGN visible at the top of your screen. There has to be a BGN visible at the top of your screen. Is it there? Is BGN visible? Okay. Once BGN is visible, then let's do it together. So what you do now is RCL1, RCL1, which right now on my screen is negative 1.34. So I'm using the plus minus button to make it positive. So 1.34685 with all the decimals, that becomes my present value. 20 negative is my future value. 20 negative is my future value. 20 negative is my future value. 180 is my N. 180 is my N. RCL2 was what? RCL2 was that 5.97 divided by 12. So RCL2 divided by 12, which is 0.4975. So 0.4975. That becomes your IY. So that's your IY. And once you have entered everything, then you press compute and payment. Compute and payment. And my payment is coming out to be 0.05 0.05731 million. So which means if I just multiply that with 1 million, I'm going to get an investment of $57,316. $57,316.874. And this is with all the precision because we were able to retain the decimals by making use of the memory function. That is your correct answer. Now, how many of you got this right before me? Just put in a me in the chat box. And if you did that, that's super impressive. But that's very few people. I think I just have 5 people on the box. So that's less than 5% of all the population. All those who got this answer right before me, just put me in the box, please. A slight difference here and there is okay. That's because happens typically because of the rounding off. Happy to see you here, Ruby. Okay. Now, let me repeat this one more time. Okay, so here's what I'll do. In fact, okay, let's do it this way. You post your queries and I'll try to reply them one more time. I'll try to reply to your queries, and maybe if required, I'll repeat the whole calculations again for you. But let's start with your queries first. So you can post whatever queries you have. Just keep on posting your queries on the box. I'll try and reply them. Yeah, so rounding off mistake can be avoided just if you learn to store the numbers in the calculator so that you don't lose all the decimals. Okay, first question I've got is how did I get this 180? So Brahmani, from 5 years to 20 years, how many years do we have in between? 5 years to 20 years, how many years we have? We have a total of 15 years. And in 1 year, how many months we have? 1 year has how many months? She said 10. Uh, which planet have you logged in from, Ramni? Okay, sorry, I'm just messing with you. So 12. So we get 180 here. So these are the number of months that we have between these two. Since he's making a monthly investment, so for 180. Okay, then next question is, can you explain the monthly interest part? Can you explain the monthly interest part? Yes, I can, definitely. So your monthly interest works this way. I'm guessing you are asking me this question. So see, logic was very simple. The rate given is 6% per annum compounded quarterly. Now, what does it mean? It means if I have 100 rupees with me, then every quarter bank will give me 1.5% interest. The rule of thumb is very simple. If it's a quarterly rate, then I have to divide this number with 4. That is the end of the story. I have to divide this with 4. So 1.5%, 6 divided by 4, 1.5%. So what happens at the end of fourth quarter? Okay, so let me do it like how we would do if we were in the school. So I will say, and you can do this with me also. You can say 100 plus 1.5 percentage equal to. So you're getting 101.5 plus 1.5 percentage equal to interest on interest plus 1.5 percentage equal to 4 times plus 1.5 percentage equal to. So when I do this 4 times, my 100 rupees become 106.13. So 106.13 is nothing but 6.3 percentage per annum. But is this a monthly rate? No, this is an annual compounding rate. It means if I invest 100, by the end of the day, by the end of the year, I get 106.13. So this is my effective rate. Now, could we get this rate simply by using I conversion function? Yes. So press second and 2, and I want each one of you to do this with me just for practice. Okay, so I'm going to answer all your queries. Don't worry about it, but let's do this. Press second and 2, then press second and clear work. So what happens is in this I conversion function, we cannot directly convert from quarterly to monthly. That doesn't work. So no matter what rate you have, from there you come to annual, and from annual you go wherever you like. So what we did is first, we have 6% quarterly. So in nominal, you enter 6. In nominal, you enter 6. Then in CYY, you enter 4, and then you compute effective. then you compute effective. Then what you'd get is you'd get this 6.13 63 as your effective rate. Now let that continue as it is. Don't change the effective. Then what you do is you go to the C by Y and you say, okay, all right, there's going to be a small internet issue. Yeah, so you go to C by Y, and then what you say is, see, I want to keep the effective as it is, that I don't want to change, but I want the nominal frequency now to become monthly. So make your C by Y as 12. Make C by Y as 12, but effective you don't change. Go and press compute on nominal, and when you compute on nominal, you get 5.97. Now there are decimals after that, and because we don't want to lose the decimals, we store that in the second memory slot. So STO2. So hopefully you're comfortable with the rate conversion. Now, why did I not convert the rate here? Right? You should have that question. You should ask me, Utkarsh, why did I not convert here? That is because here we did not have any payment. There was no payment. So one rule of thumb that you can always follow is that whenever you have payment button, okay, whenever you're using the payment button, the the frequency of payment has to match with frequency of rate. Otherwise, your answer will never work. So whenever you're using the payment button, if your payment is coming to you every 6 months, then you have to use semi-annual rate. If your payment is coming to you every year, use annual rate. In this case, the payment we are making is every month, so we have to use a monthly rate. But here, in this period, we did not have to use it, right? There was no payment in between. But could I have used monthly also? Yes, it could have worked. I mean, even if I would have taken monthly, that would have still done the job. So hopefully Kaushik and Jessilia, you're okay with the rate part. Just confirm yes or no. Okay, good. All right. All right. Let's take one more question. Let's take Arvind's question here. So here's the question that Arvind is asking. What Arvind is saying is, he's saying, can we instead solve it this way, that take this 1 million and directly take the future value for 20 years, deduct the amount from 20 million, and then calculate the payment? Will it work? And the answer is yes. Even then it will work. Let's do it that way. Let's see if the method that Arvind is proposing, whether it gets us the same answer. Let me create a new page for us. Okay. So this time we're going to solve this question a little differently. So we have 1 million here, and what we need is we need 20 million here, right? So first thing that we'll do is we'll directly take this 1 million forward for all the 20 years, right? Because anyways, this 1 million remains invested, and whatever future value we get, we deduct that from 20 million. And then this is the future value that we will try to achieve by making payments in this window. This will also work. Let's see if that works. Okay, so do this with me. Second clear TVM, 1 is your present value. 1 is your present value. Now we want to take it 20 years forward. Tell me, which rate do you want to use? Do you want to do this with quarterly rate or a monthly rate? Because if it's only present value, future value, any rate will work. It doesn't matter. Beginning end doesn't matter when you're dealing with present value or future value. Beginning or end matters only when you're dealing with payment. So let's use the quarterly rate. Okay. So Brahmani will help us. Brahmani, you tell me, in 20 years, how many quarters? In 20 years, how many quarters? Are you sure about you sure about that? Okay, so she says 80. So let's keep 80 as n. Let's keep 80 as n. So 1 is present value, 80 as n. And how much is the rate per quarter? How much is the rate per quarter? 6% per annum. So per quarter is how much? 1.5. So 1.5 is IY, compute future value. 1.5 is IY, compute future value. And what you'd get there is this negative 3.29. Now I want you to save your decimals. So what you do is on your screen right now you have negative 3.29. Let that number remain as it is. It's a negative number. It's good. Now just say plus 20. Plus 20. So what you'd get here is you'd get 16.70709 something. 16.709 something. Now this number with all the decimals, put this in your first memory slot. Okay, so put this in STO1. STO1. Now we have to make monthly payments. From where? From year 5. From where? From year 5. And what we want to achieve is now we just want to make sure that by the end of 15th year, we have this 16.709. So now my future value is going to be that 16.709, 20 minus 3 RT. My future value is going to be 16.709. My N is going to be 180. My IY is going to be that monthly rate. What was that monthly rate? Monthly rate was now here I cannot use quarterly rate. I have to use monthly because I'm dealing with payment. I hope this is making sense. So monthly rate was 5.97 divided by 12. But 5.97 divided by 12, this is in our second memory slot. This number is in the second memory slot. So if I do 5.97 divided by 12, I will lose the decimal. So I'll be careful about that. Then I will be on the beginning mode, and then we will compute payment. And we should get the same answer. Okay, let's see if that works. Second clear TVM. Second clear TVM. RCL RCL1 is your future value. RCL1 is your future value. And 180 should be your N. RCL2 divided by 12 is your IY. RCL2 divided by 12 is your IY. And we are on the beginning mode, and we will say compute payment. Compute payment. And tell me if you're getting the same answer. 0.0573168, which is nothing but 57,316.874. The answer should match with precision. Answer should match with precision because we are using the memory function of the calculator. Got it? Can we use IY as 5.97 and N as 15? No, Vedant. If you do, one is that's the wrong way to do it, because if you want to keep your N as 15, then you should use annual compounding rate. And second, you would get a wrong answer because you would end up calculating monthly payment. But this person doesn't want to make payments monthly, wants to make payment. He doesn't. You will end up calculating annual payments. We want monthly payments. Okay. How many of you are comfortable with this now? Can you just put a me on the box, please? How many of you feel comfortable with this question now? Good. Okay. And those of you who still feel that you're not, you know, 100% there, you feel that I have some doubts, can you please put a not okay on the box, please? Okay, that's that's a pleasant surprise. So I'm happy it worked out for you. Uh, in my level zero course, I have plenty of question. Even this video is going to remain on YouTube. So if you want to watch, you can just rewind and watch it. I think what happens, what I've realized is after this live session, it takes about 5 minutes for the video to process, and then it just stays there. Uh, so you have to wait for 5 minutes, and you can start watching the video. Uh, by the way, those of you who are on YouTube, if you found this session to be of any use or any help, I would request you to please like the video and also subscribe the channel. I think that goes a long way in kind of spreading the word and bringing the video in the YouTube search function. So if you found this to be of any value, please make sure you do that. That helps us a lot. And I think with this, I'm going to conclude the level zero course with you. We spent almost 5 weeks working on the basics, uh, and apart from these 5 sessions that I've done, there are plenty of really high quality content available inside the FinTree's learning management system, inside the level zero course. As I've discussed earlier, especially for people on YouTube, even if you've not signed up with FinTree, the level zero course is available free of cost for everyone. The only thing you need to do is you need to create an account on the FinTree's learning management system, and then send an email to info@fintreeindia.com and info@fintreeindia.com and request them to enable your account. So request them to enable your account, so that ways you get access to level zero course. Now, before I conclude the session, one last thing, an important thing. Today in the evening at 6 p.m., I would be doing a similar time value course with the FRM Part 1 class. Uh, and that session is going to be broadcasted on YouTube live, where I would be doing similar concepts, but I would be practicing more questions. It's a slightly longer session that I would be doing with them. So if you feel that you want more practice on the TVM and you're free in the evening, you can participate to that class. It should be live on YouTube by 6:10 or 6:05, 6. So that's roughly about 7.5 hours from now. Uh, so around 6:10 or 6:05, the video should get live, and you can participate there and practice more questions if you like, but it's not mandatory for you. Okay, so with this, I'm done for the day. Thank you very much. Keep yourself safe, and I'll connect with you during the week with schedule and all the calendar. And those people who feel you're still not comfortable with this question, just post whatever queries you have on the FinTree forums. I'll try to reply it there, or post them on the comments and I'll try to reply there. So thank you and have a good day.